So what's up guys, my name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel today. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that did watch yesterday's video. It didn't perform too well, but I'm completely fine with that because I haven't uploaded in so long, so I'm not really too upset about it. If you guys do want to watch it, there will be a link to it in the top right hand corner of the screen appearing right now. Would mean a lot to me if you would go ahead and watch that. But in today's video guys, we're going to be talking about two of the most unpopular games in the FIFA franchise, that being FIFA 18 and FIFA 19, and we're actually going to be discussing which of these games was worse or is worse. Now as always guys, this is my opinion, so feel free to disagree as long as it's respectful, so be sure to leave a comment whether you agree or disagree with my opinion and what you think about the two games, because I'm interested to see. As always guys, I would appreciate it if you could drop a like on the video, because YouTube's algorithm is a bit dodgy recently where videos don't get pushed out if they don't have like high like ratios and stuff like that. It's a bit weird, I don't really understand it myself, but it would mean a lot to me if you could do that. And also subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any FIFA content like this, and be sure to have the bell on so you actually do get the notifications. But with all that aside guys, let's get right into today's video. So when FIFA 18 released, it was actually quite a popular one among most of the community, or more of the hardcore community, because EA actually rewarded players that were good at the game in a sense, because what they did at the start of FIFA 18 was, when it was released, they massively reduced the amount of AI defending and interceptions. So basically defending was more down to the actual user, so obviously it created a bigger skill gap, and they also increased like shooting accuracy and stuff like that, so people could score more goals if they created clear-cut opportunities. Now the only problem with this was, at the start of the game you would often have games which would finish like 8-6, like even like 10+ goal games like the majority of the time. And believe it or not guys, people started to complain before they gave it a chance to actually learn like the new mechanics and the way to play the game, because obviously nobody's going to be fantastic at manually defending completely when it's just been released. Like this patch wasn't, like this version of the game wasn't out for like 2 weeks and EA had completely changed it. Now don't get me wrong, this version of the game was not perfect at all, because like goalkeepers would act very dumb in certain situations and it just seemed like absolutely every single shot would go in. So I'm happy that they like obviously toned that down last year, but they just brought back the AI defending which everybody hated from FIFA 17, and it just brought like a sour taste back in people's mouths, because the game just felt not stale, but it just felt same old like rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Like we finally thought we were getting somewhere and they were going to reward skill, and they go and like revert everything that they've just done. It was a little bit sad. But moving on to like the patches which actually were like in place for the rest of the game, the gameplay wasn't horrific in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think it was that bad, and I'm going to explain why. There was none of this timed finishing or moving the keeper, which was the first major W, but we didn't know that at the time. Like we didn't know FIFA 19 was going to have all of this stuff. But yeah, there was no like keeper movement or time finishing, so it was good in that sense, and it actually rewarded people that created clear-cut opportunities, because obviously the driven shot mechanic was very powerful in this installment of the game. But yeah, in FIFA 18, if you did work it into the box, about like 7 to 9 times out of 10 the driven shot will go in, which, I mean, driven shots were very overpowered, and I don't think things should be overpowered in a game. You should probably have a balance of everything, but you can't always do that, and I think this was like the lesser of two evils compared to like time finesse shots and stuff like that. But at least with this mechanic, it rewarded people that were actually good at breaking down defenses, and when you did break down the defense, you were going to be rewarded with a goal most of the time. I really like that. The same can't really be said for FIFA 19, but I'll get onto that in a little bit. Now like I said earlier in the video, there was a patch which brought back AI defending to a certain extent in FIFA 18, but in my opinion it wasn't as bad as the likes of FIFA 17 or even FIFA 19, because I don't think the AI was that powerful. It was slightly strong, but it wasn't too bad. Like compared to FIFA 19 where you got people spamming drop back and constant pressure, it wasn't as bad as that. You still had people in like 4-2-3-1s holding their CDMs, but I don't think it was as bad bad as FIFA 17 and 19, but that's just my opinion again. One thing I will say about FIFA 18 though is that it had a massive issue with kickoff goals. Like, I feel like these were the worst in any FIFA. Maybe 19 is just as bad, but I remember complaining about this way more in FIFA 18 because it just did my head in. Maybe this was because 18 didn't have as many gameplay flaws as 19, so this was like the, you know, main issue. I don't know, but it just felt like in FIFA 18, whenever you scored a goal, you didn't celebrate until the ball went out for a throw-in or something like that. Because I don't know what it was, whenever you conceded or scored a goal, like the person who conceded the goal just seemed to have an absolutely insane boost where they could just run through the team. Like, the defenders on the other team just would not do anything, they wouldn't stick a leg out, they just stood there static, and you could just get an easy like reply. But yeah, kickoffs in FIFA 18 were by far the worst. One thing I will say in FIFA 18 though is that it wasn't as bad in terms of broken mechanics for like scoring goals and stuff. Like, if you compare it to FIFA 19 where you've got people doing El Tornado, Balassi flick up, volley, cross, header, back post, bollocks, it's not like that. So the gameplay still resembled football in a way, so I did like it for that. But the main issue with FIFA 18 for me is it just got very boring, and I don't know why. It might have been because I got burnt out of having to play 40 weekend league games every week, or the servers were bad, I don't know. Like, it just got very stale for me. That's one thing I did forget to mention, to be fair. Like, gameplay was very inconsistent in FIFA 18 as well. Like, sometimes you'd have a rapid game where you could, you know, score nice goals and stuff, and then you go into the next one and you just cannot string a pass together. Like, it was very inconsistent in that sense, but I don't think that's specific to FIFA 18. I think that's just a FIFA problem in general. Like, this happens every single year. There also wasn't much to do in FIFA 18, especially in the week, because you'd go from having to play like 40 games at a weekend, which was extremely stressful because that is a lot of games, and then you'd have the week where all you could really play was just like seasons and draft, where the rewards aren't great and it's not really worth your time. Like, we didn't have Div Rivals last year, so you went from having to play absolutely loads at the weekend where you have the least time and you want to relax, to having to like play no games at all in the week where you have the most time, kind of. I know people work and stuff, but do you get what I'm saying? You have like 5 days in the week compared to like 2 at the weekend. Now, I've spoken a lot about FIFA 18, but now we're going to move on to FIFA 19, and I'm going to try my best to keep this under an hour because I could go on for days about FIFA 19. Like, genuinely, this game is awful. When this game came out at the end of last year, I was quite curious to try it because they'd obviously brought out new mechanics such as time finishing and keeper movement, and at the start of the game I actually didn't mind it as much. Like, genuinely, it was refreshing to have to use new things other than like driven shots and stuff where people were using finesse shots and just normal shots. You know, it was different, and it was, you know, quite refreshing to have that change after 2 years of it in FIFA 17 and 18. But yeah, at the start of the game it was actually quite challenging, and I had a lot of fun trying to break down my opponent and stuff. I obviously knew that AI was quite strong, but it was still fun in a sense because it was challenging, it was fun, it was different. Obviously this wears off after a couple of weeks where people start getting their teams, they start learning the mechanics a bit more, and then you start to figure out, you know, like the game's flaws. And unfortunately for us, FIFA 19 had a hell of a lot of them. And you know what's crazy? It still does. So like a few weeks after the game came out, people started learning the mechanics, and this was where the first major flaw was found within FIFA 19, and this was the timed finesse shots, or the first time finesse shots, or the 360 no scope shots, whatever you want to call them. Essentially all you had to do to score a goal, and this is not an exaggeration in the slightest, was pass the ball to a player that was about 30 yards away from the opponent's goal, who wasn't even facing the right way, press a finesse shot before he gets the ball, and then press the shoot button again when he's about to hit the ball, and you will green the shot, and the player will do a 180-degree turn, hit the ball full power into the top corner. Like, not an exaggeration in the slightest. And this didn't just happen like once a game, this would happen nearly every single time the player did it, and I'm not joking. I'm sure you guys remember that. And all the people that suck up to EA, all they would say was, move your keeper. And this went on for months, guys. EA released an update which was meant to fix it, and it ended up making it worse, and then they tried to fix it again, didn't work, and then it eventually took them until about January or February, I do believe, when the game's already halfway through its cycle, to actually finally fix this broken mechanic, and then obviously people find another one. Because guys, then all you had to do, instead of pressing finesse shot after all these patches, was just do a normal shot, which is even easier, and that'll fly in instead, and that's still in the game now. What you'll quite often see people doing nowadays, especially the competitive players, is they'll do like a scooped cross where the player can just volley it first time, and that flies in so many times. Like it seems to happen nearly every game. Like I was watching the FIFA Global series and I kept seeing players flick it up and then just volley it. Like it's so stupid. But anyway, FIFA 19 has so many broken mechanics such as the El Tornado, La Croqueta, all the flick up stuff and the headers. You know, I could go on for days. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It has so many broken, unrealistic mechanics. Players that try and play football aren't rewarded, people that abuse mechanics are. So basically you could have no football knowledge whatsoever, and if you took advice from someone that just says, yeah, run down the wing every time you get the ball, do this skill combination which is really easy, just flick it up and then turn left or right with the right stick while holding L1, cross the ball and press U, and you'll score a goal. Like, you don't need football knowledge to do that, and all you had to do was that and you'd score. Like in the other games you needed, you know, football knowledge to actually work your way into the box so you could, you know, find a driven shot opportunity. But the main problem for me with FIFA 19 is, like, if you make a clear-cut opportunity, you still know you're probably not going to score the chance. Like, it's so stupid. Like, you could have prime R9 in draft and you could be in a one-on-one opportunity against the goalkeeper, green time a driven shot, and you know it's not going to go in like half the time because it's just the way the game's programmed. For some reason they don't want you to score one-on-ones in this game. And with shooting being as bad as it is, it's even more annoying with the keeper movement because they can predict the shots as well, and since the shots suck, even if you know which way the keeper's going to go and you go the other side, your player's going to put it wide. And this creates this game where, you know, you'd have about 20 shots on target against a player and you could score about 2 goals, and they could have 4 shots and 4 goals. It's one of those types of games in FIFA 19. And the luck factor when it comes to one-on-one chances just makes this game so RNG and reduces the skill gap massively because it's so inconsistent. Like, genuinely, it's awful. I just don't understand how a shot from outside the box which is hit first time can be more effective than a shot inside the box which has been well worked. Like, how does that make any sense? And then in FIFA 19 we've got heavy AI defending, which is even more annoying because what this does is it just allows people to run back with strikers or midfielders, not actually apply any pressure on the man with the ball. You know, you don't have to do anything and the computer will automatically go and tackle the player with the ball with no input from you at all. You know, they make all these ridiculous interceptions, position themselves perfectly, and, you know, it just massively reduces the skill gap the game has because you don't do anything when it comes to defending. Like, it's down to the computer, and if the computer's on your side, you'll win. If it's not, you'll lose. Do you know what I mean? And this, in combination with the awful one-on-one shooting, makes this game really, really annoying because when you finally manage to break down this heavy AI defense, which is really difficult, and you get a one-on-one opportunity, you know, 5 times out of 10 you're not scoring the chance anyway, so it's just like, ugh. FIFA 19 also still has kickoff problems. Like, this is very evident within, like, the global series and stuff as well. You know, whenever you score a goal or you concede a goal, you just know there's a goal coming right afterwards for the opposition player. Again, don't know why this is still a thing after all this time, but it is. So in this game, when you finally do beat all of the RNG bullshit just to score a goal that you've been working all game for, your opponent can just run straight through, and then for some reason their shot goes straight in, and then you have to do it all over again, and, you know, you'll end up losing the game sometimes. Now, FIFA 19 does have stuff to do in the week, like you can play Rivals, which has pretty decent rewards, and it is a competitive game mode. They also reduce, like, the amount of weekend league games you had to play from 4 40 to 30, so that was good on the weekend. So they've done good in the sense that they've like added new game modes that make, you know, meaningful impact on a player. But obviously there's no real game mode to relax on anymore, which is really annoying. So that can lead players to getting burnt out, which I think I was, because I got bored of this game around the end of December, start of January, because it was just competitive, and there was no place to just chill out with your team while still earning something. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people could say, oh, let's go on online single matches, but realistically, who's going to want to do that? We want like a gold cup where we can get like a crappy little pack where the chances that we get something are slim, but we can still get one. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, for me, FIFA 19 died out the quickest out of any of the games. I don't know if you guys agree, but I got fed up with this game extremely quickly, and I genuinely think it's my least favorite FIFA I've ever played, and I've played a lot. Again, FIFA 19 has a lot of flaws. I'm sure you don't need me to go over all of them. I'm sure you guys can think of some for yourself, and if you do have any, write them down in the comments. The same goes for FIFA 18, but when we talk about which game was worse, I'm gonna have to say FIFA 19, simply because it doesn't reward football. It's got no skill gap. There's many broken mechanics which just don't make any sense, such as the flick ups, El Tornados, La Croquetas. Everything is very inconsistent in the game. It's extremely boring to play. People just sit in a 4-2-3-1 drop back with their strikers, thinking they're good, not actually doing anything, and it just pisses you off, and then they score and dab and send you a message after the game. It's extremely pay to win, and is just overall extremely boring. Now, this isn't me saying FIFA 18 is a good or perfect game. I'm simply saying FIFA 19 is just worse than it. I quit FIFA 18 just like I quit playing FIFA 19, but it took me way less time to quit playing FIFA 19. I quit FIFA 19 towards the end of January, and only occasionally did I play it afterwards. But with FIFA 18, I played it up until around about April, and then I stopped. But yeah, this is why I think FIFA 19 is worse. Feel free to disagree or agree down in the comments. Just be sure to let me know what you guys think about these two games and which one you think is worse. If you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new so you never miss out on any videos like this one. Be sure to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted, and be sure to comment down below what video ideas you have for me, as I am extremely interested to see what you guys come up with. And yeah, with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next upload. Peace.